I tell you, this book takes sadistic, heinous villainy to all new levels. All right, because I read Big Game, first issue, and then after I read it, I was like, I feel like I'm missing a lot because there's all these characters and they're being introduced, and I feel like there's a lot of backstory here. So I posted about that, and actually Mark Millar responded and said, "Oh yeah, this is the latest. This is like 20-year culmination of all my Miller World stories in one. Probably should have started somewhere else." I was like, "All right, okay. There's so many to choose from, but the one I wanted to read was probably the most intriguing character for me in Big Game, which was this one, Nemesis. And usually when I do a short, I'll read like the first 2 issues or something, get a sense of what's happening, and then do a little short on it. But this one, I was like, I just couldn't stop. I just kept reading and reading. I'm like, oh, well, I'm done now. I'm going to read the whole friggin' thing and do a short on it all. Because, first of all, I couldn't stop reading this. I was so gobsmacked by what I was reading. I tell you, this book takes sadistic, heinous villainy to all new levels. And then after I read it, I went and sort of researched it. And apparently it came about, they said, what if Batman was the Joker? And that was a great line. And then, you got run with the line. Imagine a villain that can make the Joker look tame. It's like, Maromi says Reloaded isn't rated. I'll check it out. Because he does appear in Big Game. So I want to sort of see what the middle is going to be there. Did he say sadistic anus villainy? Heinous. Like, this guy is evil persona. He's like the devil, essentially. But if the devil was Batman, it is vicious, and it's just like murder and mayhem from the get-go. And also just sort of like, how a cat toys with a mouse? It doesn't just kill it, it like toys with it first. It's like that. He is really, really, he's a bad guy. Great. Great says, what if he's sick of what if Superman was evil? Well, this isn't Superman. He's not impervious. He's just got a lot of money and a lot of fun toys, and he uses them to mass impact. Essentially, you start off, he's killing cops, and doesn't ever really get explained. I think it gets explained in Reloaded, and I think that's kind of controversial. I don't know if everyone liked that, but he's just like he's getting his rocks off killing cops all over the world in really weird kind of, like in Saw, everything's a game. Everything has to be set up and planned, and it's all tricks and ruses and everything. And he's blowing up buildings. He's crashing, like he squashes this guy with a train, and then the train itself, because the bridge, the thing got blown up. Then it's all just out. I don't think there's torture. It's not like gore or anything. You don't see like anything like what Cranberry just said. It's just like the guy is pretty much kind of as bad as you want to get. There is a moment later on where it's like, oh, dude, that's like sadistic evil that I was not expecting. And I'm like, oh, damn, that's like, that made me, it kind of makes you get like, oh, uncomfortable and disturbing, but you don't actually see anything, thankfully. But still, it makes you, it kind of, yeah, gives you the icks. It's like, yeah, they really did go there. They weren't just like playing kind of half fiddle with this. They really, yeah, I'm not going to even bring up Maromi's comment, but yeah, essentially that. Anyway, it's essentially this is a 6-issue run. It's Nemesis versus this guy, which is like, he's the chief of police in Washington D.C. So he's kind of responsible for a lot of the politicians' safety as well, which I didn't realize. But what's his name? Chief Morrow, Blake Morrow. Oh, a cool thing I found out after this is that Mark Millar actually did a charity auction for some big charity where the person who donated the most got their name as the character. So that's how that Blake Morrow, and there's another name as well in it. So that's cool. I liked hearing that. And Suma said he likes McNiven's art. It's funny. It's sort of, when it's action sequences, it's some of the best, coolest pages I've seen in a long time. But on some, like, look at this, super rad, yeah. But and then on some other panels where it's sort of maybe it requires them to like standing in a room or something, I did feel like, especially some of the backgrounds are a bit sparse, but it didn't bother me. I mean, it didn't take anything away from the story. It was just a contrast between, like, there's an action sequence in a prison later, which is just crazy. Even this one I thought was a little, not as good as other pages, but I'm not complaining at all. Look, he hijacks Air Force One, kidnaps the president, kills untold numbers of like, you see him flying everywhere, and he's just like, it's complete chaos. Yeah, I mean, look at this page. Look at that. That is so heartbreaking. There's this mother carrying a little baby and in front of a petrol truck, and it's like full of this stuff. It's like, this dude is evil to the extreme. Anyway, so Nemesis wants to kill him essentially, and he's given a date and a time. He always kills people. They always die in an exact time. That's his sort of like calling card. And yes, that's the president there, which is I do love that page. Just how he's sitting there. Okay, it gets a bit into the backstory of how the supposed backstory. That's his leg. See how it's sort of like, he's more like Batman. It's like, what if Batman was a super villain? I want to show, what can I show? I'm going to skip forward a bit. Oh, he gasses the Pentagon, kills 20,000 people at the Pentagon, just like whatever. This was a great scene too. I would love to see this. This would make a great scene in a movie. Where he's standing there, it's like, you're wasting your time. They take their shots at him. Look at that great panel, and then you see he's behind bulletproof glass. It's just really cool, fun storytelling. And he taps on it. It's like, you idiot! It's a Pentagon. He's always mocking him while he's killing. This is another cool scene. This is sort of a bit more like when I'm saying he's like Batman. He's got his car turns into a bike, and then he does this flip, and he spins backwards and shoots the helicopter with a missile. It's a lot of fun. Oh, right. The lady with the baby. Yeah. It's utter chaos. Let's stand in front of a petrol truck. I did think that as well, but I thought she was just sort of caught unaware, It all happened so quickly. Phil says, ha, cool. Always wanted to read this. Yeah, dude. It is fun. It's fun, and it's just like, you can't believe what this guy's doing. You just like, somebody stop him. For real. It is so bad. I thought this sequence was excellent as well. He goes under the water and climbs up. He gets caught. This is where he gets caught. I'll probably end it at the prison scene. It's probably where I should probably end it. He gets caught, and he's like, you think I didn't plan all this? So he gets his Hannibal Lecter type moment. He's in the prison. Hang on, skip forward. Yeah, like that. He's in the prison. And then at the right time, one of the guards ends up killing everyone, and they're going to let all the prisoners out, but he's like, no, I want to fight the guards first. It's like, there's 100 guards. How are you going to kill them? He's like, I'm only counting 97. And then you get this epic sequence. This is superb. I like, if you want to look at how to do cool fight scenes in a comic, McNiven crushed it. Absolutely. It goes for about 4 or 5 pages, and he's just like, it's so brutal. It's like that scene in The Kingsman. No. Do not give Nemesis to your kids. Do not. This is big bad stuff. But this scene reminds me of that scene from The Kingsman, you know, where they turn on the violence thing and they all kill each other in the church. But yeah, just really, really cool scene there. And he ends it with that. That's the great art there. A lot of impaling going on in here. White may not have been a great. No, it's perfect. The all white. It's actually the first costume, and I've said this many times. I'm sort of a little bit over the superhero stuff, and I think a lot of it is there's only so many ways you can make a costume. And I know there've been all white costumes in the past, but there's something about this all white costume and how he's constantly getting covered in blood. And you know, the white is sort of associated with angelic and good, and he is the exact opposite of that. He is the devil. And I'm going to end it there because you think, oh, where's it going to go? Oh, it gets even darker. It gets bad. And you know, the big fight between the cop and him. And I'm not going to tell you what happens. Just go out there and read it. It's Miller having a great time just going wild with a villain. Yeah, that's sort of what I felt with it. And I do expect maybe at some point they will probably make a movie of it, because I think it would definitely work as one. I know they're always trying to make everything of his a movie now. Hopefully the new Narwhal book, Per Berg book, what is it? The Vatican City will become one as well.